So as we're putting this piece on here, it might help to just leave the two bolts out from the bottom of this cover here and try and fit them in together as one piece. In my case, the top part of that bracket for the tensioner was sticking out this way, and it was causing me some trouble, so I disconnected this so it was loose, and I tried to fit them both in at the same time, and it worked out not bad. Had a casualty though. This peg that's on the inside of the top cover broke off, but not much you can do about that now. So this will be lifted up. You're going to lift the engine up to access your two top bolts. Those are 15 mil. And if you remember, there is this hole right here is the access hole for one of those two bolts. So I installed those, torqued them. I torqued them down to 35 foot-pounds. So then we drop it down, and we're going to do our bottom bolt here. We just get it low enough so you can get that clearance and grab that one. Again, I torqued it to 35. And then we've got the bottom harmonic balancer crank pulley. So what I did was I made this bolt here, so that's metric. This is just 1/2-inch threaded rod, and I just welded it right here. And I got a series of just spacers, washers, nuts. I started the crank pulley on, and then you're going to be tempted to want to use the impact, but I don't want to damage anything. There's no keyway in this, so that means that basically what's holding this static onto the shaft is just the torque of the bolt. Otherwise, this could end up spinning, and because there's no keyway to hold it stationary. So I just go slow. I use the wrench and I suck that in there, and using my spacers as I go to get it in all the way. Now factory spec on this is 100 foot-pounds. So I got the 100 foot-pounds. You see I got my little peg bar in here. This is to hold this from spinning as we tighten that on. Crankshaft dampener, 100 foot-pounds. So there's certain things that you got to torque to spec. There's other ones that, you know, there's a little leeway with. So make sure you get the critical ones, right? The crankshaft damper there, the camshaft sprocket, the tensioner, those things are all pretty critical. You don't want to mess around not torquing them to proper spec. This is also going to be a good time to put on our belt and tension up our belt for the alternator back there. So I'll put that on next. And then we're going to lift the motor up, and we're going to line it up, and we're going to put in our Torx head bolt here. Here's the tension screw down here, clockwise, and it's going to pull your alternator out. It's going to tighten up your belt down there. Once you've got your tension on it, just feel by hand, push down on the belt for once you're satisfied for the tension. And then this here is 15 mil, so you'll likely get that hand tight because it's pretty tough to get anything else in there. Down here on the bottom, here's our belt. It's got pretty tight, and then here's the bottom bolt, 15 mil for that alternator. So you can tighten that one up, torque it down. I did it 35 foot-pounds. So we lifted it up, line up this Torx bolt. You might have to grab the engine and pull it side to side to line that hole up and get that started. Get it started with a wrench. You can tighten it up with impact if you choose. I torqued this one down to 100 foot-pounds, and so you just put your plug back in. And then up top, we put our power steering pump together. So we've got our 3 bolts. They're 13 millimeter access through the holes. I found what worked best was the 3/8 to 1/4 reducer. and a 13 mil socket. Just give about the right space to fit that in there, and bolt that up. I torqued it to 20 foot-pounds. On the back here, same thing, 13 mil. So I torque it to this one first because that's going to be the alignment for our pulley. And then I left this one loose, and then I bolted this one to it. Because this one, there's slots in it, you can adjust it and move it. So bolt it to here, again, 20 foot-pounds for me, that's what I did. And then down in the bottom, there's that bolt, that one down there. And those ones, 35 foot-pounds is what I used. So this is all put back together. Now all we got to do is put the serpentine belt in. So if you remember, this is a 18 mil wrench. It just fits on the spigot there, and then you're just going to pry it, pull it over, pry it over, take off that tensioner, and then slip the belt in. The belt is in pretty good shape. You can see there's some cracks here. It's good enough to use again for a little while, but make note of probably going to want to change that within the year. Just wrapping up the job here. So we put that top motor mount on, 15 mil here, 18 mil, 18 mil. I torqued this to 50 pounds on the 18 and 35 on the 15 mil. Then we had our hose here, so we had a 10 mil fastener there, tighten down, hold that, come across, then it's supported here off of the bracket, off of the rad here. Then we put on our new rad hose, we got a new rad cap, we ended up putting in a new thermostat as well, and filler neck, so everything is new. Two 10 mil bolts holding in that filler neck there. Torqued those down to 120 inch-pounds. And then down below was putting in that splash shield in the back there. And there's two plastic caps on this side here, and there should be 2 or 3 10 mil fasteners up into the body metal. My splash shield is busted, so they're broke free on the top and just held in place here with the plugs. What you could do is take them bolts out of the top, and you just use the same kind of plastic fastener on the front here on the top, if you're able to do that. We've got all of this side done. What's left though is we're going to change that heater core on the inside, and that looks like it's going to be just as much fun, because I'm thinking these are the hoses back in there.